In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, who created us and who sustain us in being, and who accord to each person particular gifts, through whose use we give glory to you, send your Holy Spirit upon our graduands this evening, who have completed teacher training courses, to strengthen them to embrace the challenges of the future, so that they may each contribute, through the qualifications which they have gained, to the building up of the civilization of love in your world, which Christ your Son came to inaugurate. We ask this through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduates, guests and staff, I now declare the ceremony open. I invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Margaret House, to give her welcome address.
Chancellor, Chair of the Board of Governors, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and especially you, our graduands, welcome to our 2015 graduation ceremonies. It's my pleasure and honour to congratulate you on your success in graduating from Leeds Trinity University. Today we recognise the achievements of you, our newest graduands. It's a time of joy after much hard work and dedication, a day that everyone here at Leeds Trinity looks forward to with pride. For you, our graduands, this ceremony marks the completion of your studies and the beginning of fresh challenges. We share in your excitement and wish you luck in your future. What you have achieved should not be underestimated. You had to work hard to earn your place on your chosen programme, competing against many others to get your university place. Whilst gaining your place at university was an achievement in itself, once you arrived at university, the hard work really began. Intellectually and mentally demanding, studying for a degree requires a great deal of hard work, perseverance, and determination. But you've done it, and today is your day to celebrate. You thoroughly deserve your success, and I hope you feel as proud of yourselves as we do of all of you. Graduation is a very special occasion, giving the chance to reflect on and celebrate your achievements. But of course, this isn't goodbye. Leeds Trinity is your university, and we'll be here for you whenever you need us, when your skills need refreshing, when you're ready for the next academic challenge. As a Leeds Trinity graduate, your future is bright and your opportunities are boundless. Be confident and ambitious. Whether you have your future already mapped out, or whether you're pausing before deciding what comes next, I believe we prepared you well to work hard, to work well with others, and to take pride and enjoyment from work and study. Today is a special day for your guests too, and I'm delighted to see so many guests here today to join in your celebrations. Parents, carers, grandparents, husbands, wives, partners, friends, children, teachers, you've all been there for our graduands throughout their entire educational journey, a journey which started long before Leeds Trinity University, and a journey which may still continue for some. Your contribution to their success has been invaluable, regardless of the ways in which you've supported our graduands. I would like to personally thank each and every one of you for always being there for our graduands during their time at Leeds Trinity University. And I'm going to ask the graduands to stand and to face your family and your friends and to join with me in showing our appreciation. Do you know, that didn't really sound terribly grateful. Come on, you do better than that. I'm honoured to share the stage with another group of people here today who've played a significant role in your success. These are my colleagues, your lecturers and tutors, who've been there for you throughout your programme, supporting you and providing you with knowledge and inspiration. I'd also like to thank our support staff, without whom the delivery of your programmes, or events like today, simply wouldn't be possible. I'm incredibly proud of the academic and support staff at Leeds Trinity University. They work hard to ensure your success, and this time I'm going to ask the staff to stand, including those in the auditorium, and also those staff who are in the atrium, if you can come in, and I would like you to join with me again in showing our appreciation to them. The years that you have spent with us have been a time of great achievement for Leeds Trinity. This year, our quinquennial review by the Quality Assurance Agency resulted in the affirmation of our quality and standards. The outcomes of the 6-yearly Research Excellence Framework reported our research in communication, media and culture studies and English language and literature to be world-leading. This year, we opened the Trinity Enterprise Centre, a new facility to foster students' entrepreneurial and business skills. Ben Lawton, one of our final year business students, was awarded the Duke of Edinburgh Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. In November, we launched Leeds Children's University, and in May, we appointed England midfielder, James Milner as our first Chancellor. Leeds Children's University aims to improve the life choices available to children in Leeds between the ages of 7 and 14, and we are grateful to our staff and students who work through volunteering and support many of the extracurricular activities that are on offer to these children. We are committed to providing the highest standards of learning and academic excellence to our students. Last year, over 95% of graduates were in work or further study 6 months after completing their studies. For the second year in a row, a record number of our students have achieved first or upper second class awards, and student satisfaction with their course has been the highest ever, again exceeding the national average according to the latest results from the National Student Survey. In addition, the Guardian University Guide ranked us second in the UK for student satisfaction with assessment and feedback. We're especially proud of these last 2 figures as they are accolades bestowed upon us by our students. As a result of these achievements, the university climbed 27 places in the Guardian University Guide League Table, and we were ranked 28th out of more than 100 universities in a recent What Uni compilation of top UK universities. We're incredibly proud of these successes from across the university, many of which have been contributed to by you, our graduating students. We recognise that you're graduating in a challenging economic climate, a climate of substantial change. However, as a Leeds Trinity University graduate, you have enormous opportunities waiting for you. Your programmes have provided you with both knowledge and highly sought-after skills. In addition, the vocation of your course has given you the best possible opportunity to be ready for the world of work. But degrees aren't just about gaining academic skills and becoming employable. Throughout your time with us, you've gained independence, developed as individuals, and made friends for life. These achievements are just as important as the academic merits of a degree, and I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say it's been a pleasure to watch you develop and grow into inspiring individuals with very bright futures ahead of you. Leeds Trinity University may be less than 50 years old, but in that time, we've achieved a great deal. These achievements are the result of a successful partnership between Leeds Trinity University and you, our students, soon-to-be alumni. We can only sustain our success by continuing to recruit outstanding students like you with the potential to achieve what you have achieved today, and you should feel very proud of the role you've played in Leeds Trinity University's success. Today we are celebrating the success of you, our 2015 graduates. Everyone at Leeds Trinity appreciates that life is far from easy for today's students. Learning is a personal challenge, and all of you will have faced your own particular challenges, and all of you will have overcome them. Your family and friends will have supported you. Many of you will have had to work to pay for your studies. All of you will have made sacrifices to ensure your success. It is therefore with enormous pride that everyone here at Leeds Trinity sees your success today. I am sure that family and friends will join with me and share in my delight at the achievements of you, our 2015 graduates. You are all exceptional people. Congratulations, well done, and good luck.
We now move to the conferment of the awards for our graduands. I invite Dr. Jonathan Doherty to present awards from the Department of Primary Education.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, I am pleased to present the following for the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Primary Education. Well done. Well done. Alan. Michelle Andrews. Shabana Aslan. Amy Elizabeth. Chris Broadhead. Emma Clare. Andrew. Rachel Daniel. Catherine Delamere. Anna Delaney. Charlotte Dobbin. Philomena Dwyer. Laura Eek. Christina Elliott. Charlotte Fisher. Victoria Gardner. Hannah. Joshua Guthrie. Christy Guy. Zan. Nicola Harbord. Francesca. Jade Herbert. Matthew Higgins. Chrissy Hull. Leslie Hull. Chris Hunter. Lisa Jenkinson. Bethany Jones. Bradley Jowett. Daniel Kearney. Well done. Very good, Dan. Philip Kenyon. Sarah Kerry. Rodat Kerepa. Samantha Kidd. James Kilner. Julia Lees. Robert Malt. Sophie Marshall. Eleanor McGlinchey. Sophie McGuinness. Andrew Mullen. Kevin Myers. Danica Nethercott. Joe Parker. Sam Parkinson. Charlotte Phillips. Charlotte Plowright. Monica Ratu. Hayley Ravenscroft. Rachel Richardson. Catherine Roberts. Well done. Joe Robinson. Nicole Shaw. Thomas Schillar. Joanne Slingo. Marshall Smith. Abby Stevenson. Olivia Tabell. Sumaya Tai. Hannah Taylor. Rebecca Thorpe. Lindsay Verity Buck. David Wilkinson. Well done. Well done, Dave. Charlie Wood. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation of awards from the Department of Primary Education. Thank you.
I now invite Ms. Michelle Oldfield to present awards from the Department of Secondary Education for graduates who have followed the school-centred initial teacher training programme.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, I am pleased to present the following. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education, Art and Design, I present Claire Moore. Chelsea Palmer. Lauren Seggy. Jeffrey Singleton. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education, Computer Science with ICT, I present Matthew Fish. Lisa Warburton. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education, Design and Technology, I present Claire Burton. Jessica Hallowell. Olivia Longbottom. Shannon Stringwell. Georgina Wilkinson. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education Geography, I present Harriet Crispin. Catherine Devaney. Verity Webb. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education History, I present Anthony Johnston. Judy Pickard. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education Mathematics, I present Amy Borer. Michael Everson. James Steingold. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education Music, I present Nathan Bromwich. Michael Fay. Christopher Kelly. Charlotte Kitson. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education, Religious Education, I present Matthew Maguire. Tarjinder Tour. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education, Science with Biology, I present David Deakin. For the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education, Science with Chemistry, I present Amy Gorse. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation of awards for these programmes.
I now invite Dr. Amanda Fulford to present an award from the Department of Secondary Education.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, I am pleased to present the following. For the award of Master of Arts in Education, I present Max Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation of awards from the Department of Secondary Education.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the presentation of prizes. I invite Dr. Doherty to present prize recipients from the Department of Primary Education.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, I present the following who are recipients of the Primary Education Department Prize. Graham Martin. Well done. That concludes the presentation of prizes from the Department of Primary Education. Thank you.
I now invite Ms. Oldfield to present prize recipients who have followed the school-centred initial teacher training programme.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, I present the following. The Humanities, Harriet Crispin. The Tim Barker Prize for Design and Technology, Jessica Hellowell. For the Arts, Chelsea Palmer. For Mathematics and the Sciences, James Steingold. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation of prizes.
I now invite the Chancellor, Mrs. Gabby Logan, to give her address.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And congratulations to all of you. A great, huge sigh of relief, I imagine, going on inside of you, all of you now, especially the girls in highish heels who made it to the front there unscathed. Although I'm sorry that you had to win an award and come back up with a pot on your foot there. Good effort. And also sitting right at the end, I thought that was particularly cruel. But you did very well. All of you did very well, because it's a moment, isn't it? It's a moment in a sequence of moments, and that's what our lives are all about. This is just one other moment, and there's so much more, so many exciting things to come. I was lucky enough a couple of weeks ago to go back to my old university, Durham, to be given an honorary doctorate in civil law, which, much to my mum's chagrin, does not mean you can call me a doctor. She kept texting me saying, "What can I call you now?" And I was like, it's still Gabby. But I was absolutely thrilled to go back there and to think about my time there as a student. And then it kind of dawned on me halfway through the process as I sat at the front of the cathedral in Durham watching all the young graduates come up and get their degrees, that it was 20 years ago that I graduated, which made me feel very old. I inspected the wrinkles a bit closer in the toilet when I went out afterwards. But 20 years, it just goes in a heartbeat. Now, when I was a student, we just about got mobile phones. I was the first person on my course to have one. My mum bought me it for Christmas, and it went off in my first lecture while I was there. And nobody else on my course had one. I don't know what my mum was thinking, because I couldn't actually afford to run it. Nobody had anything like a computer, exactly. There were computers in departments, but nobody had one in their rooms. In my third year, I got a word processor. That was very exciting. Had a tiny little screen, and it could actually print stuff out, which was wonderful, because prior to that, I'd been sending my essays home to get done by my mum's secretary, because I couldn't type very well. And life was so different. We didn't have Wi-Fi. We didn't have the internet. It had been invented. Tim Berners-Lee had sorted that out, but he hadn't actually made it kind of universally available. So life was so different 20 years ago. Much more difficult, I think you'll agree, parents, wasn't it? Yeah. But you guys are going to see so much change in technology, so much change over the next 20 years. You're probably now thinking, oh, I sound like an old woman telling you this, but things do move really quickly. Life moves really quickly. And I can't believe I'm 42 with 2 kids standing here talking to you who are going to be going out there and being our next generation, hopefully, of fantastically inspiring teachers. Because the other thing that just dawned on me when I was sat there now is that 3 of my teachers from my school, Cardinal Heenan, came to my wedding, our wedding. You have to say that, don't you, ladies? Our wedding. And it was my day. And all 3 of them were trained here at Trinity. And one of them was an RE teacher, one a geography, and one a PE teacher. And it was because they meant so much to me, and they were so inspiring, and they made me believe so much about myself and what I could achieve. Because like a lot of people who come to this university, I was a pioneer in terms of further education. Nobody in my family, none of my cousins, none of my aunts or uncles, certainly not my parents, had ever been to university before. And they made me believe that I had an ability and that I could go on and perhaps do that and become the first person to go to university in my family. So I think you'll all agree that without those people sat over there and the support that they give you and the kinds of teachers that you've had, it would be very difficult to be sitting where you have today. But then it's down to you. You're those people who are going to inspire kids like me who came from homes where further education wasn't really on the agenda. And you're going to give them your passion for your subjects, and you're going to light up their lives and tell them things that are going to change their lives. And no pressure on you, but my son this morning, before I came to the first ceremony earlier today, he was kind of hanging around the bedroom, and I thought he needed something to do. So I said, oh, come and give me some advice. And I was asking him which earrings I should wear. But he took that as general advice. And he said, well, I think today you should say something that sticks with the people you're speaking to for the rest of their lives. So I was like, I was going to ask you black or diamond, but, you know. He said, try and be like Nelson Mandela. Okay, just set the bar quite high then on that one. He said, say something that sticks with them. And I said, well, you've heard a lot of speeches lately, because he had speech day at his school. And I said, what stuck with you about the speech? They were lucky enough to have Simon Weston speaking to them, the Falklands war hero. And he said, Simon Weston said that tomorrow might be your day if today is not. Well, today is definitely your day, but there are going to be many days where it doesn't feel like your day, and there is always tomorrow, and there is always time to change and time to evolve. But if there are 4 things, 4 tools that I could recommend that you have in your armoury, I would kind of condense them down to these. One is love, and that covers passion. It covers your ability to be kind to people, to be generous to people, to share love, to share just that moment with somebody where they realise that you've connected with them, you've looked in their eyes and you've given them a little bit of you. And as teachers and as educators, that's going to be vitally important. And I think we all have the opportunity in our lives, whatever our jobs are, to make an impact in one moment, because we might never see that person again. When you're a teacher, you're going to see them every day. So you really are going to have to be patient with them. And I take my cap off to you on that, because looking after 2 10-year-olds, as I do in my children, I know it must be a trying and challenging job to have 30-odd of them in a classroom. But your love and your passion is so, so important. Perseverance is the other thing. I know through my career, sometimes things haven't always felt easy, and I've felt like not quitting, but perhaps putting a dream or a goal to one side, but persevere in your dreams and your ambitions. And I'm lucky enough in my day job, when I meet so many incredible sports people, to see the fruits of perseverance and to see how that comes through on the playing fields of sport. And after the Olympics in 2008, I spent a day with Becky Adlington, who had won 2 gold medals in Beijing. And she wasn't really expected, she wasn't on the radar to bring home 2 gold medals. And she was suddenly elevated into kind of national sweetheart status. And I went to see her in her house in Mansfield. And she grew up in a very ordinary house with a very ordinary family who didn't have any swimming heroes in it. And when she was a kid, she said she always came second in the regional races in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire area. There was always a girl who beat her. She could never beat this girl. And as she started to progress through the age ranks, she got better and better. And in the training up to Beijing, I said to her, did you know you were going to win gold medals? And she said, every day, every single day after training, I threw up. I trained so hard, I made myself physically sick, which isn't a prerequisite to being a good teacher, I would concede. But she said, I knew that if the person who was on the line with me, who was racing their body as hard, if they'd done what I'd done, they deserved to be there with me on the rostrum. If they hadn't, I was going to beat them. And I'll never forget it. I was so bowled over with her perseverance and her incredible drive and determination. Bravery is another thing. We all need to be brave sometimes. We all need to make decisions. We need to put ourselves into situations where we feel really, really scared. It might be standing up and speaking to a room, which you're going to have to do loads. But for some people, that might be a first step that feels a little bit alien. It might be making a decision to change jobs at a certain time in your life, moving cities, moving countries, just taking a step and a leap into the unknown. After I graduated, I had a year in Durham, a year in Newcastle, where I was working in local radio. And then I was asked to go and work for Sky Sports. And it meant leaving my very cosy life in Newcastle. I had a boyfriend from university there, and things were going well. I was on a nice salary. Things seemed to be quite cushy. And then I had to get in my car, pack it up, and drive to London, where I knew nobody. I had no friends, no family. And that doesn't sound very brave. When I look back now, and I think that 22-year-old must have had a little bit of fear inside her, because when I think back to that journey, I pretty much cried all the way to London, and thought I'd never be as happy as again, because that was a great period of my life. But it was a great leap into another world, and there will be times when you feel that you have to make those kinds of decisions and be brave and make those decisions and grasp hold of those opportunities. The other thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I've been completely scared of, and I would say was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and the most fear ever, was doing Strictly Come Dancing. Which from the moment I started to the moment I finished, which wasn't long, my husband would tell you if he was here, because he beat me by 6 weeks, was that I never felt comfortable in that environment. Sometimes you will never feel comfortable in an environment, but you will enjoy it and look back and realise it was an amazing experience. And the final thing is to be able to laugh at yourself, to have humour, and to not take yourself too seriously in certain situations. And I need to do that almost on a daily basis in my job, because people are very quick to tell you when things are going wrong, and you have to be able to laugh at yourself and grow a thick skin and not too preoccupied by what other people think. And I think that's quite hard, especially for this generation or generation of young people growing up now, because of the obsession and the kind of proliferation of images that we seem to be constantly posting of ourselves on all kinds of social media. This idea that we have to be perfect, we have to be wonderful, we have to be brilliant all the time is quite hard to square off with making mistakes. It's really okay to make mistakes, and only through making mistakes will you be able to learn and grow and develop. And my mistakes are some of the best things I think that I've ever done. And it takes time, but you can laugh about them afterwards, I've decided. And I'll just share with you one little vignette. Quite a big mistake, this, I think you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen. I was presenting a show called Olympics Tonight. Back in 2012, and it was this brilliant show every night where we had a roundup of all the day's Olympic heroes and the gold medalists, and we had fantastic guests. On the final night, we had an amazing sofa of sports stars. We had Michael Johnson, the 400-metre world record holder, Tom Daley, who just won a bronze medal, Catherine Granger, the rower, who'd won 4 silvers and finally got her gold, Ben Ainsley, who is going to lead the America's Cup team for this country, who then got his 4th Olympic gold medal. It was an amazing lineup. And then we had David Beckham. He has no relevance to Olympic sport, but we were offered him, and you just don't say no when you're offered David Beckham. So he sat on the sofa next to me where I could look after him properly. And we were watching some action from the day where a boxer called Luke Campbell had won the gold medal. And we didn't have any boxing guests, so we weren't going to talk about the boxing. But I had mentioned to David while the VT was on that Luke Campbell had overcome great adversity in his life, and he had suffered the loss of his mum and sister in a car accident in the previous 12 months. And David was very moved by this, and when we came back on air, David took it upon himself to tell the great British public this and shared with them this story. And he rightly said what an incredible achievement it was. And we moved on, and we did the end of the show, and I'm feeling relieved. I've just done 18 nights in a row of one of the greatest shows I've ever worked on, and the Olympics is over for me. We've got one more day, but I'm not involved in it, so this is my last hurrah, and good night. And in my ear, the producer said, go back into the studio. And being an egomaniacal TV presenter, I thought they'd got me a cake. So I wandered back into the studio, and I could see on the monitors that we were still going. The Olympic flame was still burning, and the BBC credits hadn't rolled. And so I was slightly unnerved by this. They said, sit down on the sofa, and you need to let the viewers know that Luke Campbell's mum and sister are alive and well. Now, that's good news. They're alive and well. Yeah? Only it wasn't, obviously. I'd made a catastrophic mistake. Well, I hadn't actually. David Beckham had. But let's not split hairs on that one. Suffice to say, we've never worked together since. His agent keeps him at arm's length. Anyway, there was all kinds of hoo-ha going on in my earpiece because all the bigwigs had come into the gallery. You know, voices you don't normally hear outside of BBC boardrooms had suddenly become involved because the Daily Mail were obviously going to come down on this like a ton of bricks. So I could hear them saying, no, it's Anthony Joshua, no, it's Anthony Agogo, no, it's... Anyway, rather than give some other poor family the misfortune of also killing off their family, I decided the best thing was just to say, which I did, I'm afraid some erroneous information made it to air tonight. Luke Campbell's mum and sister are alive and well. Good night. Yeah, they were my sign-off words for the 2012 Olympic Games, you know. Claire Balding becomes a national sweetheart, and I've delivered that line to the nation. But I went to bed that night, and I didn't sleep. I tossed and turned, and I was thinking, this is terrible. I've made such a terrible mistake that, you know, all I'm going to be able to do is kind of overnight quiz shows from now on. And I was blowing things slightly out of proportion, obviously, in the lack of sleep. And in the morning, I thought, I need to put this to bed, and I'm just going to ring Mrs. Campbell to make sure she's alive, but also just to apologise, because I imagine the night your sons won a gold medal, you don't want your phone to be buzzing with people saying, are you alive and well? So I got the phone number, and I rang her, and I said, hello, Mrs. Campbell, it's Gabby Logan from the BBC. She said, oh, yes, dear, I've heard all about you. I said, I'm so sorry. You know, it was my fault, not David Beckham's. I don't want you to hold anything against him, and I'm terribly sorry. And you must have had an amazing day and night yesterday, and I'm sorry if it spoilt it at all. Well, don't worry, dear. She said, I came downstairs this morning in the hotel, and in the breakfast room, they all stood up and started singing Thriller to us. And I'll be honest, it took me a few months to be able to tell that story publicly, but the point is, I won't make that mistake again. I won't share news like that with David Beckham, and those mistakes you can put in context over time, and you can realise that you do learn from them. So have humour when things go wrong, because they sometimes will. Laugh at yourself, love what you do, have a passion for what you do, and also remember where you came from when it comes to this university, because you are part of an alumni now that you'll come up across people that you've either studied with here, or people who studied here before you, people who have been long gone from here, and it's really important to be part of that family forevermore, and we want to hear how you're doing and how you're getting on, and thank you for representing this university in the way that I know you all will. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor, for a wonderfully inspiring address. I now invite Michelle Andrews, a student of the graduating cohort, to give the vote of thanks.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, lecturers, fellow graduates, friends and family, it is my honour to deliver this vote of thanks, and I would like to thank the Institute of Childhood and Education for this opportunity. I've been asked to give a short speech about my time here at Leeds Trinity and to give thanks on behalf of all my fellow graduates. I was honoured to be asked to do this, but then, as to be expected, panicked about what I was going to say. It's only 5 minutes, I thought. How hard can it be? And that was the dawning moment. 5 minutes. 5 minutes has a ring to it, a significance. 5 minutes has been our little mantra in our time at Leeds Trinity. Only 5 minutes for a presentation on behaviour management. Only 5 minutes to report back on 2 weeks of alternative placement that would affect our teaching practice. 5 minutes standing in front of a notice board, trying to remember which group I was in, which week it was, then trying to decode the timetable. Just a 5-minute break that Jonathan never gave us during his 2-hour lectures. And these 5-minute challenges continued into our school placements. I've got 5 minutes. I'll just print off these letters. Oh, hang on. The photocopy's in energy-saving mode. I need to replace the ink. I found some more paper, and I've cleaned the mysterious smear off the glass. But now I'm too late for wherever I was meant to be, and I haven't done my printing. There's a parent on the phone. Have you got 5 minutes? Oh, yeah, 5 minutes. We know how that one went 20 minutes later. The realisation as you drive home that you can't remember a thing you did all day, but you didn't have 5 minutes just to have a wee. But there are also 5 minutes triumphs. 5 minutes silent reading. Oh, golden. The lure of an extra 5 minutes playtime that meant your observation went like a dream. 5 minutes of a math starter where they actually got what you were saying. And in my special world, he just sat down with the group for 5 minutes. Have you observed him is interacting for 5 minutes with a visitor? Or the best one that we don't achieve very often. We've been in the room for 5 minutes and no one's eaten anything out the bin. 5-minute triumphs. And now we're here, and I have 5 minutes to say thank you, although technically I've used a few already. I'd like to start by thanking our friends and family who've done their best to support us, even though we haven't had 5 minutes to catch up with you properly. We will resurface over the summer. A thank you to our mentors who spared 5 minutes in the corridor when our panicked faces gave away our confident talk. To those who prioritised our meetings to nurture and guide us on our teaching journey. A thank you to the teachers who handed over the reins to a student, trusting us with their class, despite the chance we could undo all their hard work in just 5 minutes. And a thank you to the students who challenge us, keep us on our toes and make us laugh. They value the 5 minutes we spent at lunchtime playing football so much more than our meticulously planned lessons aimed at promoting progress and engaging all levels of learners. And a thank you to the staff here at Leeds Trinity who facilitated this whole process, who've made links with supportive schools and created a programme that has equipped us not only to be employed as teachers, but to be confident in our ability to teach. It only seems like 5 minutes since the 1st of September when we stood around, nervously awaiting what would be the beginning of what has become a hard but fulfilling year, where we've had the support of each other, our families and friends, the school and the university. And so, to conclude my 5 minutes of 5 minutes, I shall make reference to a well-respected academic author who critically analysed the leadership troubles encountered by Mrs. Large. In the 25th anniversary edition, published in 2011, Jill Murphy's report highlights the need for everyone to have just 5 minutes peace. And that, my friends, my successful, graduating, hard-working and respected friends, that is my challenge to you, your next step, if you will. Learn from the 5-minute frustration, celebrate the 5-minute triumph, and value your 5 minutes peace. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, for a wonderful vote of thanks. I now invite Mr. Ian Burrell, the Chair of the Board of Governors, to say a few closing remarks.
Gabby's words of encouragement were there. Follow that. So, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the academic procession, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Governors of Leeds Trinity University, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate you, our newest graduates. Today's graduation ceremony is an occasion you will never forget, and rightly so. You have worked very hard for this day and this moment, and we rightly praise you for your commitment and application. Above all, we applaud you for your success. Nothing succeeds like success. Achievements are like stepping stones, with one leading to another. Your degree represents a significant step forward in your life. It is a very secure step, and it will create opportunities and pathways that may not otherwise have been possible. We are sad to see you leave us today, and saying goodbye is always tinged with sadness. But remember this: the times that you have shared here, the friendships that you have made, and the insights and knowledge that you have gained will always stand you in good stead. These are the ties and experiences that bind. Your days as a postgraduate here have come to an end, and we are now delighted to welcome you to our alumni community. We hope, when you are settled in your career, that you may be able to help future generations of students with work placements and internships. I said earlier that success is often self-fulfilling. By choosing to study at Leeds Trinity University, you took a very important step in planning your education and laying the foundations for your career. By graduating today, you have built this foundation and therefore created more career opportunities for your working life. It is now again up to you to take the next step in your career with the same resolve and determination. With that positive thought, and on behalf of everyone associated with the university, let me again congratulate you on attaining your degree and wish you every success and happiness in the future. I would like to thank Michelle for a very entertaining and excellent vote of thanks on behalf of all the students graduating today. We hope that you have enjoyed your special day and that the memory of your time at Leeds Trinity University will inspire you to even greater achievement. It is now my pleasure to invite you and your guests to join us in the atrium, where we will continue the celebrations with a reception. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the ceremony. Please would you stand for the academic procession.